Okay, this would just really bother me if I didn't correct myself on this. So somebody will be looking at this someday and like call me on it. So you know, I know I forgot to do that cut. So how would you make that look right? Something like that. About like that. Alright. The angles get really wonky because you got 30 on your bevels, and then I think if we did, this is where I got really confused, because if we did the bevels and the drop shadow at the same angle, one part would work and one part wouldn't, and I really don't remember if it was 30 or 45 on the drops. But anyway, I just happened to look at the screen after I hit the stop and I'm like, oh my god, that's the wrong. I remember when we were in paint school, and we actually did this twice. We had all people in my rating AMSs went through a really short paint school, and we'd have a piece of metal. See, my hands are on the screen. The piece of metal was big enough for 4 letters, and they picked the 4 hardest letters. I don't remember which one. There was an A and a 4, and probably an S, and I don't remember what the fourth one was. But they say, okay, here's your piece of metal. It was just completely bare. And one day we painted just the metal, and then we let it dry for a day or two. And then they said, okay, now we're going to put the lettering on it, and we're all really excited because thinking this would be fun. And then we quickly realized that it was not fun. It was a giant pain in the butt. So, you know, they said, okay, here's your tape, here's your stuff, here's your ruler, here's all your instructions, or hopefully, you know, I think we had to write our own instructions from the day before so we would know how to do it. And so you go through this and you get it all done up, and you get it all taped up, and then one by one they take you back in the booth and you put it up on the, they had an easel set up, and you put your aircraft up there and take your paint gun, you get your respirator on, your big acid gloves and your face shield, and you know, all this crazy stuff. And you're up there and you've, you know, only held the paint gun once in your life, and that was 2 days ago when you painted the whole thing in the first place, so you aren't really sure what you're doing. But they let you do a quick test shot to make sure it looked good, and then you'd spray it, and you'd put the gun down and take all the stuff off and walk out, and you'd carry it by the edge and you'd set it down, and then you'd sit there and untape it carefully. And for that day we shot lacquer, which dries pretty quickly. And I had seen a couple of other guys when they sprayed it, and I saw there was a lot of problems with the paint leaking under. That was one of the things I didn't really show you, but after we got it done, you'd sit there and you'd go over all the edges just as hard as you could with your fingernail and get them down really tight. Okay, so you get them all down really good. Try not to catch the edge, and you just work right down in the corners and everything and get it all tight. And then you'd spray it, and they wouldn't let you do touch-up. They wanted to see how you did, you know, because usually in the real world you'd spray it, let it dry, and then you'd touch it up if you needed to. If you had a little bleed through, you'd clean it up with the rag and it was okay. But so they counted 1 point for everywhere there was a leak. So if it leaked through, they'd go like that, and they'd one there and one there and one there, and, you know, so they'd mark it all around. And I realized that the way they were scoring, and for us, scoring was very competitive because the people with the highest scores at the end of the class got to pick where they went. So we were very competitive, and in the real world, you know, you just do it again. You wouldn't really care, you know. I mean, you do a good job, but you wouldn't be all crazy about it. Well, I figured out that if you underpainted it so it was not enough paint, that was only 1 mark against you. Instead of, you know, if you overpainted it, it would leak everywhere. So I figured out that if I didn't quite paint it enough, it would leak less. Okay, so I kind of cheated. So I lost 1 point for not doing a really good paint, but I had 0 leaks. So I came out of there with like 99, and I don't remember if I was the top, because there was probably somebody that did a really good paint job that also didn't leak. But most of the people in there had leaks everywhere. And I remember one guy I just had to laugh at him because he had the 4, and so it had a hole in the middle, and he had completely forgotten to tape the hole, right? And you saw on my R, you get all these marks going around, and when I was drawing the outline, that's basically how I would have taped it, and I totally missed that one, so it's easy to do, because the marks start to run together. So he completely forgot the middle, and he comes back and he sprays it. Beautiful looking paint job, and he's pulling all the tape off, and I don't think he even caught it. He walked up to the instructor. I mean, it was too late then. It was already painted, and the instructor looked at it for a while before he caught it, because his paint job was beautiful, but here's this big white spot in the middle where it's not supposed to be white, and he's like, oops. Yeah. So, anywho, that'd be that. Okay, well, that was fun. Thanks for coming along. I'm going to give you a quick run through again, just in case you slept through the rest of it. No, just kidding. Today's show brought to you by the letter A. Yay, good job. And let's see. Can you find the letter A? Yeah, I thought you could. And also by HC5 providers, which are no longer in business. I used to fly that kind of helicopter. Looks cool, huh? Again, the book will be coming out shortly. Probably, I'm shooting for mid-April right now, possibly sooner. I might do a Kindle version first or an ebook. Kind of depends on which way things go. Like everybody else, this year money's a little bit tight, so I'm self-publishing the book. I need to come up with the money first. I might do special pre-order deals where if you buy by a certain time, you'll get a discount, and total transparency. The money from the pre-orders will help me actually buy the books in the first place. So, yay! Hopefully that works. But yeah, definitely keep track of the information on the blog. There will be information posted on the page that this is on. This is going up onto YouTube. My main website is carlincom.com, which is CarlinComm.com. Carlincom is actually my name. And from there I'll have a link to Desert Storm Diaries and also some of my other books and projects that are coming out in the near future. So anyway, thanks for watching, and be sure to check me out on Twitter or Facebook or MySpace, or all those links are on my website there. Thanks a lot, and have fun.